Hi everybody, it's Katie. I'm so excited to get back into the world of Avonlea and put together more of Anne's life. I have had a lot of family vacations and visits, and it's just time to get back into this world. The first thing I started working on is an area where I'm going to do a bridge on the second level. And oh man, do I wish we could put bridges over the top. But since we can't, I went ahead and put water in place, and I'm going to do a bridge and then terraform all the water back again. I'm not sure if I can really make this work. I think I'm going to have to tweak the way the decorations go, but I just was so darn determined to try and make this look of a bridge all the way up above the surface work. At this point, I'm still experimenting, so I went ahead and did the water flowing under the bridge down like little waterfalls down into the lower level, and it just didn't look right. It wasn't what I was looking for. So then came experimental stage 2, where I started putting down a lot of objects on the side to try and put together what I think would be a really beautiful covered bridge type of look. In the end, I went with the covered counter, and while it's not perfect, I really did like the way that it looked and pulled the area together that seemed like a really big, beautiful bridge, which was what I was trying to go for. To really incorporate it into the land, I needed some of the custom patterns, the pathing in and out of the bridge, and I used a lot of other decorations around it just to give it as much oomph and character as I could. In the speed build, you'll also see that I'm using the same set of custom patterns that I have been for the rest of the island. They're a really soft, whimsical set that has worked beautifully to create the look that I want. This area that I'm working on is going to have a church building, and we're going to put together the picnic that is typically done as a church picnic, and it may not be at the church, but I thought the two would be really beautiful to put together. Anne meets Diana at the church picnic, so I also wanted to include Diana's house. This whole area is the top left corner of the island, so as I'm getting ready to put a lot of it in place, there is a little bit of neighborhood here that works up towards the bridge, and then Diana's house, as well as one of the other villager houses and the church on the other side of the bridge, and that's going to make up the whole of this particular chapter, this episode that we're doing today. For the neighborhood areas, I really am keeping things very rural. I want it to look like a farming core type of an island for a lot of the island. We are going to do a small town vibe when we get to the actual town of Avonlea, but all of this is out more in the country area, and the villager houses and the different things that we look at are really meant to be in the country. Somebody asked me what my favorite theme was. If you're not aware, this is season 12. It's 12 different islands that I've done on YouTube since I started, and it's actually my 21st island design because I did a lot of designs before I ever started my YouTube channel. It's a tricky question to answer because in general, I usually like the one that I'm working on best. The one that I'm in the middle of designing and putting together is the one I'm excited about. So in that case, it would be Anne of Green Gables. But as far as design and process and experience, if I really had to look back, probably my most favorite island is the last island I did, which was the Mesoamerican Adventure Jungle. I really do like the way that it came out, and there were a lot of little elements and details in the island that just made me smile. It was fun, it was an aesthetic that I really enjoyed, and I thought it translated well in the game. After finishing the little bit of community on the bottom side of the bridge, I started putting together the church. I have a lot of these big, beautiful objects, and it's going to be a building that you can't actually go inside. This wide display cabinet is one that I really have learned is great at filling in a lot of big, beautiful building space. So I've turned it around backwards and added a few things like columns and the organ, bookshelves, doors. I just want different things to help it really look more like a composed building with shape to it. And the church shape has usually a little bit of a steeple in the middle. I ended up using the organ to create a little bit of that element, and I love the way that it came out. Even though I wasn't sure if it was going to work, I was really happy with it. After getting the church building put together, I wanted a little bit more height for the area and have started the last bit of terraforming around so that it goes behind the church and behind what's going to be the picnic area for the church picnic. I've bordered out the patio to the picnic area with the new string of lights that we have. It's just such a beautiful object, and I love the way that it gives a little bit of that celebratory element to any area that you place it in. Then I've just done a little bit of spacing where the tables were going to go and a little bit of just the counter music, just some basic items to figure out what the area was going to really look like. Then I pick things back up again and put the custom pattern down. I know this seems a little bit odd, but I've done this several times. The main reason why I end up picking the items up to put the pattern down instead of putting the whole pattern down first is that I just am not quite sure where the edge of the items are going to go. Sometimes I know exactly where it's going to go. Sometimes I just want to see the items in the area first, and you'll notice I didn't put all the chairs out or anything like that. I had a few things that definitely waited, but just the basic items, it helps me see the area. I finished detailing out a little bit of the patio area, and then I start working on everything around it. There are a ton of custom patterns that need to go down. Again, I'm filling in every spot, and I decided to put some of the picnic blankets next to the patio area. A little bit of variety seems fun, and even though they call it a picnic in the book, the storyline, it's more of luncheon on the patio, but I like the picnic stuff next to it. I also decided to put a little bit of a graveyard, a very respectful, nice graveyard right next to the church, just to help sell the idea that it is a church, and also because I have this perfect amount of space tucked up against the hill. I added in a little bit of custom pattern and just filled it in with dirt and decided I would come back and put the regular gravestones in later, so you'll see that. But in the end, I thought that really fit the space and theme well, even though it's not something I planned on doing. The rest of the process here is just filling in the gaps, all of the trees, the flowers, the patterns, and then I'm going to drop down and do a little bit of detailing on the beaches below, and I'll show you how that comes out because I really like the items I put together. With the area complete, you'll see it goes up just north of the train station. There's a little bit of a lookout over here so that you can see down into the Lake of Shining Waters. And then we have the villager houses just kind of sprinkled in and out. Here's that bridge. I really like the way it came out. It's a little odd. I don't know if everyone will appreciate it. That's okay. I think I like it. And then up here you can see down onto the beach. So there are 3 items that I've chosen to use to really make the beach look more like a beach. The first is that I've used the tree, the decayed tree, and I did it in white. And then I have the log and a little bit of the bush standee in its fall. I like it. I think they look really beautiful. Also up here by the church is Diana's house. That's the one over here on the right side of the path. This is Diana's house here, and then if you follow it back, we get to the church. Next to the church is the little graveside, and then the big beautiful area for the picnic, including a little grassy area over here with the blankets. I hope you found something useful here and continue creating in this game. Until next time, have the best Animal Crossing day.